Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Brew, live on Brew Sports. It is a Tuesday edition of the program. A lot of great things to get to today. Of course, we welcome you into the studio on a Tuesday edition. I'm Baxter Colburn. That's Jaymee Evers. A lot of great things to get to today, of course, but we're thankful that you decided to start your morning off with us. We've got the coffee, we've got the insights, we've got everything going on this morning. We even have the good looks, Jaymee, some people might say.
Ooh.
Maybe not. I mean, it's 7 in the morning. I mean, how good can one person really look at 7 in the morning?
Yeah, it's tough.
It's a bit of a tough thing, honestly. But we power through. We definitely do what we can to give you guys the best possible way to start your morning, because that's what people need to do. I mean, everybody needs that little extra juice in the morning. Some people do coffee. Some people drink Red Bull. Some people watch the Morning Brew. Some people do it all at once. And
Coffee and Red Bull.
Yeah, and watch the Morning Brew. There's a lot that can all happen at one time,
just double
honestly.
piston.
Just go it all. And, I mean, you don't know what's in my coffee cup, but there's a lot going on. Patrick says good morning with a big yawn.
Morning.
Yes, I echo that sentiment as well. It was a late night at the Colburn house. A lot of extra work, plus just in general, baby sleeping last night. Wasn't the greatest, but we made it work. Yeah, but it happens. It happens. Babies, they don't always sleep as much as you want them to. It's true. But either way, we got a lot to get to this morning. It is, of course, time for the What's Brewing segment. We love hearing from you guys each and every day as well, too. So make sure that you guys hit us with a comment section below and hit that share button as well, too, so that way your friends can check out what's going on here on Brew Sports. First and foremost, the What's Brewing segment. As we talk about things, let's start on a negative subject, because it's always funny when certain people get fired. The LA Kings apparently are just canning every single person in the organization. They've just basically said, we're just going to move the team because we suck, apparently. But that's not actually the case. But they're firing people, Jaymee. Why are they firing so many people?
Because they're not doing as well as they thought, which is so funny because they just won a Stanley Cup not that long ago.
That's the thing. They won, was it 3 cups? No, that was the Blackhawks. Pardon me. Sorry. But the Kings did just recently win, what, a cup, was it 2-3 years ago? Something like that. It's been recent.
They've won 2 Stanley Cups from the Sutter Lombardi era, but they also have failed to reach the playoffs in 2 of the last 3 years.
Japers. Yeah, you can't go from winning numerous Stanley Cups to then all of a sudden not winning.
But I feel like this also comes to what we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Is it really? Do you think it's really his fault? Or is it his team? More so his team. Like, his team hasn't changed that much in 5 years to allow them. Like, his coaching tactics are probably still pretty similar to when they were when he came on in 2011 and 2012. That it's interesting that they're not doing great.
Well, and I think you and I agreed on this too. I feel like, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. That when you fire players, you fire, you're not fired, but you fire coaches. But it's always the players sometimes that are the issues. We were both on the side of like, well, it should be the players getting, taking out, not the coaches, because you can only do so much as a coach. You can tell your guys, hey, pass, shoot, score, but they don't actually pass, shoot, and score.
Right.
Like,
then what's the point?
What's the point? Yeah. But I think we both landed on the same side of this one.
Yeah, we did.
But the LA Kings making a move there. For you hockey fans that are tuning in, let us know your thoughts about the move. I'm sure guys like Lombardi and Sutter are going to get jobs again. I mean, they were Stanley Cup winners as head coaches and as GM. So there are numerous teams out there that are trying to rebuild. Colorado comes to mind among others, but they also just had an atrocious season as a whole.
So bad.
I mean, you can't really go anywhere but up next year, Colorado. So
win more than 25 games.
Oh my Lord, that's just so sad.
Yeah, it seems like people on Twitter are kind of having the same reactions that we are. This is what happens when you miss the playoffs 2 out of 3 years. Even after winning the Cup twice in 3 years, the Kings just need offense. The team is stuck in a tough spot where they don't have much of a choice to roll it over. I don't envy them. Okay.
People are just, some people, there's a lot going on with that. I mean, of course, turnover is never good, regardless. I mean, even if you were a bad team as a whole, you still have to, now figure out, okay, well, what are the next steps? New regime, new contracts, all that stuff.
I wonder if they will make their way to Vegas.
They maybe might. I doubt. Oh, you mean the coach and the general manager?
Yeah.
Oh, I could see that. Yeah. A couple of people chiming in here this morning. Jeff stopping in says good morning. Liz says good morning as well. Patrick says, I don't know how you guys do this 5 days a week. We don't know how we do it either, Patrick, but we love it.
It's all for the people.
It's all for you guys because we love you. And it's all for the points. 20 points for Patrick.
Oh, boy.
People also chiming in. Sarah, good morning to you. Abhishek, good to see you as well this morning. Thanks for tuning in. If you missed it yesterday, we were handing out points. Ants O'Leary got my victories from yesterday, so I hope Ants tunes back in. He seems just like a boss guy. Your name's Ants. I mean, like, you have to be a cool guy, don't you?
I don't know.
Isn't there certain things, like if you're given a certain name, you have to be a cool person?
Unfortunately, I kind of agree with you on that statement.
Unfortunately, thanks. Nice to see you too, Jamie. Off to a roaring start this morning. Some of the other things that took place last night, the Chicago Cubs were able to raise their banner last night. They've waited 108 years for the magical moment of being able to raise their banner. Some people were not excited about it, of course. Basically, anybody outside of the city of Chicago wasn't excited about it. They had to go through a rain delay last night as well, too, Jamie.
Oh, they did.
But they did ultimately end up hoisting the banner. It was a beautiful ceremony. They had, fireworks. It was just absolutely gorgeous. Raised the 2016 banner. They carried out the World Series trophy as well. It was just a great moment overall, and I think that the city of Chicago can finally relax. And they even got a walk-off victory as well from Anthony Rizzo in the bottom of the ninth as well to help him win 3-2. So kind of a great moment for them. They get their rings today.
Okay.
The World Series rings today, and we're going to talk about the uniqueness of their rings tomorrow, and hopefully have actual pictures to show as well. But it's kind of something I'm sure you want to keep an eye on for a future husband. It's going to have 108 diamonds in it, because they waited 108 years to win the World Series. So I don't know what I would do with that many diamonds. I mean, my wedding ring, I mean, granted, I'm not a girl, so I guess I don't know what it would take to have, even 3 or 4 diamonds, let alone 108 diamonds.
Me either.
Seems like a lot. A lot of upkeep.
What a cool, good for them.
Yeah.
I was watching, I don't know what I was watching the other day, but it was videos of them winning, the World Series and how excited everybody was. That has got to be a surreal, in any sport, but especially for them winning the World Series, like to be part of that team and that legacy, that has got to be the coolest feeling in the entire world.
I think so. As much as people hate the Cubs, as much as people, try to go out and just, be terrible to, successful franchises. I mean, yes, the Cubs certainly have built something that so many people would kill for. Brewers fans would kill to have, an Anthony Rizzo or Chris Bryant. I mean, you look at successful franchises like the Patriots. I bet you, the fans down in Arizona or even the Texans or even the Packers, to an extent, would probably like some of the small pieces that New England has that Green Bay doesn't. But people love to hate on the successful franchises. It's hard to just sit back and be like, wow,
and just be happy.
They're doing really cool things. You're never going to see this again. Like the Blackhawks winning 3 Stanley Cups in 4 years. That doesn't happen. That just doesn't happen very often, So admiring, as much as you may or may not like the Blackhawks,
right?
Still admiring sports history is something that doesn't happen very often.
I think people hate well, right now everyone hates the Cubs and the Blackhawks because why does Chicago get to have great teams?
Darn you, Chicago!
Get out of here. I think it would help if Cubs fans didn't suck so much. They are awful, terrible, terrible people. I really want to go to the game on Thursday, but I'm a little afraid.
Do you think you're just going to get too fired up and just start swearing at people and throwing beers?
Well, the last time I went to a Blackhawks Preds game, right? I'm a pretty quiet fan when I watch sports. I'll talk a little under my breath and stuff, but I was sitting there with my friend Olivia, who knows nothing about hockey, but she's trying really hard to learn.
That makes it more fun, isn't it, when you go with someone that doesn't have a clue?
Yeah, so I'm trying to teach her about it because we always go to baseball games together because she's a huge Red Sox fan. Mm-hmm. Also, she's a big Brewers fan, but she also really likes the Red Sox. So we go to baseball games together all the time. So I'm like, okay, I'll go to baseball games with you if you go to hockey games with me.
Fair trade-off.
And this old man is 6 seats down from me. It's me and her and then these 2 other Preds fans next to us. Probably the only Preds fans in the building. And this old man is just running his mouth to me. And I'm not talking to him, and I'm not... And he's like, your defense. Oh, what's that? Oh, yeah, my gosh.
I love that.
Blah, blah, blah. Ooh. And he'd be like, oh, go. Take that, Preds fan. I'm like, I am just sitting here. I
literally have nothing to do with this. I'm just watching the game.
And his wife's like, so where are you from? And I'm like, no, please don't talk to me right now. Your husband
screwed
sucks.
you the rest of this.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
And then we started coming back, and then we ended up losing. But they just suck.
Yes.
They suck.
They do. It's not fun. It's not fun at all.
And especially now that the Cubs have won, right? And the Cubs are always up here for Brewers games. And they have Wrigleyville, which is just crazy in itself that they have an entire little community or a little area for them to go to. I really want to go to Wrigleyville.
I want a Wrigleyville. I want my own little town.
Right. So we're looking into going into their games.
Do it.
They play in September, I think.
Okay.
But man, they just
That's a lot.
suck. And I don't want to, I'm sure after a couple of beers, I'm probably not as pleasant as I am.
Well, isn't anybody really that pleasant after a couple of beers?
People are mean to me.
Probably
Usually people get nicer when they drink.
True. A couple more comments on Facebook. Patrick says that he's apparently keeping track of the points that he's been getting for the week. He's got 80 points running so far for the week, so I'm glad someone's keeping track of this because I certainly am not. Patrick also says he had a buddy that works for the Dodgers who were playing the Cubs last night and said that he said it was freaking cold in Chicago last night. It looked miserable last night. I mean, if anybody that lives in the Midwest, we here in Milwaukee, it was 75 yesterday when I got to the studio. When I left Brew Sports last night, it was 37 degrees. And I'm not saying that I was here for like 43 hours yesterday, but like I was here like in a normal course of a work day, but like the actual like shift throughout the day, even lunchtime. Yeah, I went to lunch and it had already dropped like 20 degrees. I'm like, what the heck's going on?
Our UPS guy came in short sleeves and I was like, short sleeves? Hey, and he's like, nope. I messed up.
It's not good. My wife and I live in the suburbs, and she was like, because she came for lunch, and she was like, there's like a 20-degree difference from the 15-minute drive. Not fun at all. Dave says, good morning from Costa Rica. Oh, my gosh,
jealous.
Dave. Very happy day to you, Dave. Brew Sports goes international. Yeah, we had James watching. What was he watching? He was watching halftime yesterday from Greece. Nice. And, of course, we had Ants watching from New Zealand yesterday as well. So we love hearing where these people are watching from around the world.
We had someone in England the other day, didn't we?
We did, yeah. I forget who. Forget the name off the top of my head, but it's great to see that the international footprint continues to expand. So great to have all of you. But Dave, bring some of that warm sunshine back with you, please, because we can't handle it. It's way too cold here, unfortunately. So that's our What's Brewing segment this morning. I want to move into some exciting news that came out yesterday. That is that the NFL preseason schedule came out, Jaymee. Folks, of course, are starting to get back into the vibe of the NFL season. The NFL draft is a little around 2.5 weeks or so. Going to be taking place in Philadelphia. We'll talk about that way more as we get closer, of course. But the preseason schedule came out. And there's some notable games out there that I wanted to kind of have us both walk through. I've got a couple of mine that I picked out, and I know you kind of picked out a few that you're looking at as well, too. But of course, the Hall of Fame game this year is going to be the Dallas Cowboys and the Arizona Cardinals. For those that remember last year, there was no Hall of Fame game because the grounds crew messed up with the Packers and the Colts because the paint that they used somehow solidified on the field, and it was just this hot, chipped mess. It was terrible.
Which is so strange because you would think that they used the same paint base, you know what I mean? Like, they weren't like, maybe we'll try this one today. Like,
well, it's literally like you have one job.
Right.
Like, if you're a grounds crew guy, like, your job is to make sure the field doesn't suck.
Right.
Simple. Paint it, keep it in good standing.
Like you do all the, every other time there's a game there.
I don't know how this is an issue. And somehow... Last year they screwed it up, but
hopefully this year it will be
it's different. Ohio. What did you want from people in Ohio? I
don't like Ohio.
You do like Ohio, or you don't?
I do.
I've never been to Ohio.
Columbus is really cool.
I bet it's really cool.
I
just have yet to go.
It's like a bigger, cleaner Milwaukee, and I love Milwaukee.
That doesn't take much,
but I love Columbus.
Huh? Mm-hmm. Well, that'll be fun. So the Dallas Cowboys, Arizona Cardinals, August 3rd. That'll be the very first preseason game taking place this year. You get to see some of the big stars, I'm sure, on display. Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott. I'm really excited for the NFL season to start regardless. I mean, I really am going to be, watching the season, of course, even closer than last year because of how the Packers did last year and hope for redemption this year. And, of course, Aaron Rodgers and, everything that goes along with him now being single again. So I'm sure that there's some storyline that's not there that'll find its way out at some point. But I'm looking forward to that as a whole. What are you looking forward to the most about NFL preseason? I know preseason gets a bad rap, but still, are you looking forward to anything particular?
Obviously, like you said, the Packers for sure. It's interesting that the LA Chargers and the LA Rams will be playing. That is extremely interesting. I also like seeing teams play each other that don't normally play each other.
Right, yeah.
So, like Chicago and Tennessee.
That's a fun matchup.
Like, that's interesting to me just because they don't... we don't really ever play. Like we did last year, the Packers and Tennessee.
Right. Because it goes on a 4-year cycle from how you play each other in the divisions. So to get that opportunity to play those teams again, I think is always a good thing.
Yeah, so that's cool to see.
Yeah, hit us in the comment section below. What preseason games are you looking forward to? Give us the hashtag of the team that you support, so that way we know if we need to make fun of you or not. Donovan says Cleveland is pretty awesome too, Jaymee. Oh, well, there we go. It's Donovan checking it out. I've heard mixed reviews about Cleveland as a whole, but I mean, certainly has to be some sort of a sustainability there if people are still living there and professional sports franchises are there. I mean, so something must be going right, obviously, if you're living in Cleveland. But We're talking about the NFL preseason, of course. That's Jamie. I'm Baxter. Give us your hashtags below of the team that you're supporting and one of the games or so that you're looking forward to as well. Too. Liz says hashtag Packers, so she's excited to see the Packers, of course. I had the Packers schedule in front of me. They're going to play the Broncos. They're going to play the Redskins. They play the LA Rams, and they play somebody else. They play... Who in the world else do the Packers play? This I had it in front of me, and now I'm spacing on who the last team is that they play. But the Packers have a fairly interesting preseason as a whole. I'm going to try to get up to a Packers preseason game. That's the one thing. I can never actually afford regular season tickets because they're just ridiculous at Green Bay. But I'd love to get up to at least one preseason game if I can.
I've never been to a preseason game before.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I feel like it'd be weird to watch football live in a T-shirt. Like you're usually, like super bundled up, like scarf, jacket, mittens, hat. So I think it'd be weird. Going on. I would that would be cool to see, but I feel like it would be so. They play the Eagles, the Redskins, the Broncos. And
Broncos. There we go. I was spacing on that last team. Patrick is saying hashtags. I thought they were overrated. See, there you go, Patrick. You're paying attention. Another 40 points for Patrick, keeping me honest this morning.
He's up to 120 now.
Because he was able to remember something that we talked about 2-3 weeks ago. I mean, that's consistency and that's dedication. I think that's valued at some high points right there, Patrick. So I appreciate your consistent viewership. This is how you know and learn certain things. We did also talk about, hashtags as a whole, I mean, being overrated, but mostly from a ridiculous standpoint. I don't need you to post on Facebook and give me 43 hashtags like hashtag Bay, hashtag sports, hashtag Mike, hashtag broadcast, hashtag Mike Stand. We don't need all of that. Yeah. I just need two hashtags, three hashtags.
There's two different types of friends I have on Instagram and stuff. I mean, there's more than two types, but the two types that use
I thought you had just
hashtags,
2 friends on Instagram.
No, probably only 2. Yeah. But the ones that are trying to be models and the ones that are trying to be travel enthusiasts, stop it with the hashtags.
And there's always the hipsters as well that are out there.
Yeah. Hashtag sunshine. Hashtag abs. Hashtag meal prep. Hashtag abs. Dumb.
A lot of abs. Just keep if I hashtag abs enough times, maybe I will finally have abs appear. But it's kind of like if you say Beetlejuice enough times, maybe that person will actually appear. Yeah. Patrick says only because I roasted him on it. That's why he is bringing it back up because he apparently was all about it. Dave says, how do you sneak booze in without huge warm clothes on? That's a valid point, Dave. And apparently Dave has got a wild side to him that he apparently is a booze smuggler. I mean, can't you smuggle booze in? I mean, you're a woman, so you can automatically smuggle things in a little bit because security's not coming up to you going all right, you're good. Girls wear some ridiculously padded bras nowadays, I feel like. So you could probably stuff a meatloaf and a 2x4 down there and be just fine.
There's your waistband, too.
Well, that's true. That's true. There's certain places that security's just not going to get friendly with.
Mm-hmm. Especially if you don't wear super tight clothes. It's easy.
Yeah, just don't dress like a hoe.
But valid.
Be a lady.
But valid. I usually shove, little shooters in my boots.
Yeah, that makes total sense to me. I mean, why not? I mean, those little babies are that big, and you're just they scored again, and hit it and just throw it somewhere in the stands. I don't know. Do you litter, or do you actually put it away when you're done?
I am very good about not littering.
Good.
I hate litterers.
Perfect.
Litterers. People that litter. I hate litterers. After all the snow melts and the highways are filled with trash, that is the most. I get so
nasty
mad.
Thing. That is the most nasty thing.
Litterers.
Dave says hashtag meatloaf. I gotta give Dave 20 points just for using the hashtag meatloaf. I don't think meatloaf ever has gotten a hashtag before, but now suddenly it does.
Why don't anyone try to smuggle a meatloaf into a Packers game?
I know. Either? I mean, maybe. I feel like now if I go to a Packers game this season, I need to try to bring a meatloaf.
Try to get away with it.
Got to bring a meatloaf with me now just to see if that's physically possible. I can't even imagine that conversation in security if they find you.
Yeah.
They'd be like, sir, can you take off your shirt? And you have a meatloaf strapped to your chest. They'd be like,
what meatloaf? Is that? And who wants cold meatloaf anyways?
It depends on if you live close though, or you were tailgating and you heat it up and it's good to go, and you just it was a quick you just got to get through security. You can literally walk through security and then be shirt off, be like meatloaf, and start eating it there. Have you seen those guys that bring catfish to hockey games? I can't think of what
catfish.
Yeah, they literally take huge catfish, saran wrap them to their bodies, and then once the game, I forget what team it is.
Are you sure it's not a squid?
No, they do the squid and all that other stuff too, but
really?
they've saran wrapped massive catfish to their bodies, and then like certain times like throughout the game they will like literally take the catfish off of them and then throw them onto the ice. I can't think of who it was, but this was a big story that came out last year, and people were beside themselves with the catfish
Nashville
throwing.
Predators fan throws
There you go.
catfish
See,
on
I was
ice.
like, I feel like it's a team that you would know of as well too. Yeah, Josh says octopus is another thing that people have tossed out there as well too. Yeah, people throw all kinds of random stuff on there. I mean, then you get the teddy bears, of course, and all that other stuff that people like to throw out there, but people never really. People just it ceases to amaze me, honestly, how many people just throw random stuff out onto the ice.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know how I didn't know that.
I have no idea. No idea. All right, moving along from that, though, Jamie, moving into the rest of the sports world here. There's been some other fun stuff taking place. Speaking of overrated, we were talking about overrated things last week and the week before that as well, too, just kind of go back and forth about certain things that we thought in the entertainment world as a whole were overrated or not. I've got one sports one for you and one mainstream one, and I think you may have one or so for me as well too, but I wanted to get your thoughts and get you guys as well engaged in what we've got going on. Remember, as we go through these overrateds, give us the hashtag if you think it is overrated or just hashtag not overrated. That way we know whether or not you think what we're talking about is overrated or not, because sometimes what Jamie and I think is not always what you guys think, and that's a good thing because that's there's discussion, of course. So I've got my first overrated here for you.
Okay.
The first overrated has to do with the NBA MVP race. Is
Okay.
it overrated because all you hear about is Russell Westbrook and James Harden? You always hear about LeBron James, but is this conversation as a whole overrated? Because I feel like we're beating the dead horse. It's probably going to be Russell Westbrook. How much more can we possibly talk about this? What say you? Is this talk overrated, or are we trying to devalue the fact of what these guys are doing on a consistent basis?
I'm going to say that I don't think it's overrated.
Interesting.
Yes, I think that the rules are unclear.
Okay.
James Harden thinks that it should be more about the wins, where Russell Westbrook, I can never say his name.
Russell Westbrook.
Thinks it should be overall who's the most valuable player, which I agree with as well. I don't think necessarily it just obtains 2 wins. So I think if there was a more like black and white explanation.
If there was actually a
we could be
real
done
way to
with it.
decide it, that would make life so much easier. Kind of like what makes a Hall of Famer, something of that nature. It's like, okay, well, if you win a Super Bowl or if you win 3 championships or whatever, regardless of your stats, you automatically. But then it's like, well, what is the role that you played?
Right.
Like, the conversation goes on and on. But I feel like every time I turn a TV on or I turn a radio on or I'm even just scrolling, even just general social media, everyone's always putting in their opinion about, oh, it's Russ, oh, it's James. Like, I personally think the conversation is horribly overrated. It's going to go to Russell Westbrook. Let's just move on with it and just stop.
But if you were a James Harden fan, you wouldn't think that.
Of course. Well, I'm not saying that I'm a fan of either of them. I think the conversation as a whole is overrated.
Okay.
Because we just keep beating a dead horse in the sense of like, okay, guys, like we get it. We're still a couple of weeks away from them actually voting as well too. So I would say let them just play out the rest of the season and we'll figure it out after that. Like, why do we need to keep making it a bigger deal than it is?
Yeah.
So
I understand.
Let us know your thoughts. Is the NBA MVP talk overrated? If not, use the hashtag not overrated or hashtag overrated. That way we know which side of the fence you stand on. Adam here on Facebook says, somebody threw a pig's head onto the field when Luis Figo returned to the Camp Nou with Real Madrid. That takes a lot of skill, first of all, to bring a pig's head into a soccer game. And I know Europe is a little bit more freelance, and I mean, it is Spain, so maybe they thought, oh, pig's head, maybe you're going to eat the pig's head. Why not? Like, you can get away with so much more, but throwing a pig's head onto the field seems a bit...
Getting a pig's head.
Yeah,
in general.
I mean, I can't even imagine how expensive getting a pig's head has to be, let alone
Gross.
trying to do something, that just seems a bit much to me, personally.
I agree.
A little weird. Do you have an overrated for me, Jamie?
I do. Overrated, underrated Steph Curry's shoes that he designs and how ugly they are.
Ugly? Oh, boy.
He has his grandpa ones.
His grandpa. I need to see.
They were
I need to look these up real fast, so that way I for sure have.
And then he has new ones out, and people are like making fun of him.
So they're Under Armour shoes. I know that for a fact.
So the first ones were, I'm pretty sure, just like run of the mill. They looked like white grandpa sneakers. These second ones, I don't know, but Twitter's having a heyday with it. Steph Curry is selling a PT Cruiser for your feet. What are these Darth Vader? These are what Darth Vader wears when he's walking on a treadmill at a hotel gym at 6 a.m.
This is amazing.
Stuffed sneakers come with a straight razor and Barbasol. Stuff drops some air cockroaches. Like, Twitter's going off. They're not cute.
People love to just get all crazy. I love that there's. Did you see the one of the tweet of the lady that is from Life Alert where she's laying on the ground and she's like, "Oh, I've fallen and I can't get up," but like she's wearing the like Steph Curry shoes because she wears just like the white granny shoes as well. So she's wearing these shoes.
That's funny.
That's a great one. Like the actual Under Armour Steph Curry shoes, I think are fine, but like whatever these old man Curry shoes are, yeah, I think those are terribly overrated. But I like the slick ones that he actually wears in games, the like high top ones. Like those are sick. Like I would totally buy those.
He like just released like they have like the SC on the side instead of like an Under Armour logo. So Steph Curry is just gonna keep dropping sneakers that look like Oldsmobile armrests.
Yes. So I would have to say that I think that Steph Curry's shoes are overrated, but I think that the world as a whole loves to make fun of things like this. So I mean, I'm sure they're going to say it's underrated because they don't want this to go away.
Right, someone's going to buy them.
Oh yeah, why would you make something if people weren't going to buy it, you know? Liz chimes in, she says the MVP NBA voting is #not overrated. She does say that his shoes are overrated though. I feel like sports shoes as a whole are so overrated. Like people wanting shoe deals and like getting these custom shoes. There's only so many ways you can make an effective shoe. Like, you have to be able to have the ankle support. You have to be able to get the bounce. Like, yeah, you can have a little flashy look, but I mean, there's really only so much you could do when designing your own shoe.
Right. I also think it's weird. Like, these guys don't really wear their own shoes. Like, they just design them for you to wear. So you don't need, like, they're not making you a better basketball player.
No,
why are you
but
wearing
wasn't that the belief though for such a long time?
Probably.
Like I know when I was a kid, like guys on my neighborhood block were getting like Michael Jordans and all the other shoes. Like when Michael Vick was a big thing, like in the football world for a while, like he had his own football cleat, and I know all kinds of people that were buying like the Michael Vick cleats because they were light and make you run like Michael Vick, and like I was definitely guilty of that. I was also the kid that watched Like Mike or whatever, the basketball movie, and then I was trying to go dunk in my as like a 10-year-old, and I'm like, oh, it's not working. I want to be like Mike, like. Kids fall into that thing overall, but like the grown adults that are trying to buy these Nikes, and being like, oh, I've got 43 pairs of Nikes. Like, why do you need 43 pairs of basketball shoes?
Right.
Like, you work in real estate, Jim. Like, you wearing those Nikes out to real estate deals all the time, or you work in accounting, Bob? Like, what are you doing, Bob? You can't wear those in there. It doesn't make sense.
I met a woman once who worked for Nike, and she said she had 78 pairs of Nikes. I don't know, but I was envious.
Granted, I'm waiting for my wife to chime in and correct me about this because I used to have 8 pairs of soccer cleats at one point in time in my life because I would cycle through cleats, but I also have big feet, so I would tear through my cleats all the time. Thankfully, I've cut them down a little bit about that. But, like, even if you are, like, a go-go person, like, you can maybe wear 2 pairs of shoes a day, maybe 3, if you are just, like, going from, like from a woman, it makes more sense. Like, got my high heels on for work. I go my tennis shoes to go to the gym. Now I'm wearing slippers at home or something. Like, bam, bam, bam. You just wore 3 pairs of shoes. Good for you. Day's over. Maybe you bring some, like, flats with you to, like, casual afternoons kind of a thing. You do the high heels because you got the nice meeting in the morning you got to look fresh for. Whatever. But it's so much easier for women. For guys, it's like, if I'm wearing my dress shoes, I'm wearing my dress shoes all day. And, yeah, maybe if I go to the gym, I've got my other pair of shoes. But why am I overthinking this, I don't need to.
Yeah. My mom always yells at me for having too many shoes, but you have brown shoes and black shoes and flat shoes and, boots and whatever, so.
That makes sense. Let us know if you think the shoe deals are overrated or shoes as a whole, designer shoes are overrated or not overrated in the comment section below. Hit that hashtag overrated, underrated, overrated or not, or is it not overrated? I don't even know my own hashtags anymore. Not overrated. That's what I'm looking for.
Overrated, underrated.
I like the underrated better. That's better. Liz says, anyone who is not a designer as their primary job and puts their name on apparel, I don't like it. She says it drives her crazy. Dislike.
Yeah, like Yeezus, I think that's ridiculous.
Yes. Like, literally anybody that has nothing to do with a particular brand, that just drives me insane. It's like, why are you doing this? This doesn't make any sense to me. Doesn't make any sense. So that was the overrated, underrated from you. I've got one more here for you quickly. Everybody and their mother has been talking about the issue that took place on the United Airlines flight with the overbooking the flight and then somebody got dragged off the plane, basically.
Correct.
And people have been trying to use that as a thing, being like, I'm going to go all United Airlines on your butt and, like, drag you out kind of a thing. And this kind of applies to I believe, your Terrible Tuesday, which we'll get to here in just a little bit. But, I mean, is this an overrated conversation? I mean, like, does United need to get their act together? Clearly they do, because
Well, they just had the leggings incident.
Yes.
However,
that's right. People got kicked off for wearing leggings.
It states clearly in their employee rules that you cannot wear, like you have to wear a business.
Oh, these are
casual.
employees? Why did I feel
It was an employee. Like, they must have gotten, like, the discount from, like, their parents or something like that, because that's what it was. So if you haven't heard about it yet, which you should have by now, a couple weeks ago, United Airlines kicked 2 young women off of their flight because they were wearing leggings.
Yep, that I did know.
They wouldn't let them board. They had to get on a different flight. But they got employee price tickets, and in their rules, it says that if you're going to use their discount.
So these ladies were employees of United?
I don't think that they were. I think someone in there, like, they got the friends and family discount.
Okay, discount. Okay.
So that happened. And then just 2 days ago, they overbooked a flight, asked someone to get off. He refused, so they dragged him out of the plane.
Why do you have to drag somebody off the plane? Isn't there a more civil way to do something like this?
Why, and okay, I can't say that he's wrong for not wanting to get up, but why are they making him get up when he's already on the plane instead of the people that checked in later?
Right.
Like, those people should be the ones that don't get on the plane.
Kind of a first come, first serve?
You would
like
assume.
I'm sitting here in my seat, I'm buckled in, my cabin is stowed away beautifully.
Right.
Like, why do you need to now pull me off the plane?
You would assume, and you would also, so, like, apparently they were like, hey, we'll give you a night in a hotel and a $300 voucher. I'm sorry, not enough for me to miss my flight.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to stay overnight somewhere when I have things to do and people to see. So if they would have, and then I guess they, like, raised up the price, and everybody still said no. So then they picked this random man to get off the flight, and he refused. I probably would have refused to.
Yeah, that makes total sense to me. Be like, I'm already here. Like, why are you kicking me off the flight? Like, those guys were late. That's their own problem.
However,
reschedule their plane.
Also, an authority, because I'm pretty sure it was like the Grand Marshals or whoever it was that told him to leave. Like, if a police officer comes and tells you to leave, like, you should probably leave.
As soon as the authorities get involved, then there's a certain level of being, okay, my bad.
So was the guy a little bit in the wrong? Yeah. Do they need to drag him off of a plane?
That
Absolutely
part
not.
is overrated. That was not professional. That, in my opinion, is something that I don't agree with at all. Give us your thoughts in the comment section below. Is the United Airlines issues overrated or underrated based off of what we're talking about? Use the hashtag so we know that you are on board with what we've got going on. Patrick and Liz are going at it in the comments, Patrick asking Liz if she's a shoe maniac, and Liz says, no, actually, I wear my shoes until they break. Patrick agreeing as well, and then he also goes on to say the people that got kicked off because of the leggings is because they got employee tickets that didn't allow leggings. Yeah, as you mentioned, so kind of reiterating what we were talking about earlier. So keep those comments coming. Remember to keep hitting that share button as well, too. Great to see so many different people chiming in this morning. Always love to see new and fresh faces as well, too. And if you love what you're watching and you're enjoying what we're talking about, make sure to continue to let your friends know about it as well, so that way we can continue to grow the Brew Sports Network. Terrible Tuesday is something that we do here on Brew Sports. It's a lot of fun for us because we're usually the ones not having a terrible Tuesday.
Right. It's because our Tuesdays just started.
Our Tuesdays, how bad can a Tuesday really be?
When you get to hang out with Jaymee and Baxter.
I mean, yes, exactly. Like, you can't have a terrible Tuesday. My terrible Tuesday centers around the young man for the New York Giants, Buster Posey. If you haven't heard about this, Buster Posey got drilled in the head yesterday by a 94-miler fastball. Just an absolutely terrible incident that took place. Thankfully, he's okay. Did sustain a little bit of a concussion, but he just got absolutely wrecked. And you could tell that it wasn't malicious because the pitcher was very remorseful after it actually took place. But anytime somebody takes a 94-mile-an-hour fastball to the head,
right, a kickball to the head hurts.
Or even like a dodgeball or like literally anything else. But like, I can't even imagine getting a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Like, thank the Lord that this man was wearing a helmet because I can't even imagine the damage that would have been done getting a 94-mile-an-hour baseball to the head. Doesn't make that just ugh.
And that's the second time this season that's happened so far. Keon Broxton of the Brewers also got hit in the head with a pitch.
I mean, and for a long time, I mean, too, like that's the conversation that's been having is about like whether or not like, the chin plates should be down a little bit more. And I mean, that's one of the questions I was going to ask this morning too to all of you is, would you wear a helmet like that, or would you rather chance it? Because some people have said that it takes a lot longer to get your swing down because there's something else, like the motion of it, like the helmet not fully sitting on your head the right way because it's not level. You've got this extra little slant here, basically. Right. Like, there's more that goes into that. I mean, would you wear something like that?
Probably.
Just to protect the jawline.
Yeah, and I think part of it comes down to, like the coolness factor. Like, is it cool
Do you think
wear
you look,
that?
that's the thing.
Like
Do you think
and
it's
like
cool?
People probably are like, no.
Some people make it look cool. They're like, Keon Broxton, it makes sense for him because he is just kind of a more cool-looking, fresh face of the Brewers organization right now. So that makes way more sense in that regards that he's wearing that. But I mean, still very scary as a whole, though. And I mean, I'd be curious to hear, because I know some people, like softball, those gals wear like a full helmet with like the face mask. Like, those girls are like going to war, basically, like based off of the gear that they're wearing. Whereas baseball, I think people would be laughed off the diamond if they had like the face mask, like the softball gals.
Well, that's the whole thing in hockey right now, too. If you're under a certain age, you have to wear a full cage over your face. Whether right now they just have like a chin strap and
at the pros level, or you're just saying in general, like you have to because I mean I know like the little kids in college sometimes they'll
college
wear,
you have to wear a full cage.
But the pros you can be a little bit more exposed.
Yeah, and I think it's becoming an age thing at this point.
I mean that would make sense to me. I mean you're trying to protect people. You're trying
a
to
puck's coming at you the same same speed that velocity, a baseball is.
Baseball's a little bit bigger, obviously, surface area, but I mean the hockey pucks
are heavier
still has to be terrifying coming flying at your face as a whole.
Right.
Very scary, but thankfully Buster Posey was able to walk away from it. But, I mean, at the same time, the guy's first name is Buster. Did he not expect to get busted up a little bit? I mean, come on,
his
Buster.
Name Buster. Was that a pun?
Maybe. Do you think that's his real first name?
I hope so. I think it's cool.
I honestly don't know. I would have to look it up, honestly. A couple of more comments here on Facebook. Patrick says, I think Giancarlo Stanton would argue that someone should wear it after getting hit and being out for so long. Yeah, Giancarlo Stanton took a massive blow a while back. I do remember that one. Apparently still people are talking about some of the other things from our overrated, underrated thing. Liz says, I feel badly about the overbooking. That shouldn't happen, but the incident with the man and authorities was #underrated because he was belligerent. Don't act a fool. Then Jeff chimed in. He said the people who were being the seats were a flight crew who had to get where they were flying out of. So the ladies in the leggings apparently were like United flight crew. Oh no, the people that were trying to get into the seats that gentleman was sitting in. That's why they were trying to pull him off, because they were trying to pull the flight crew with.
Yeah, but I don't know, that's their fault. The flight crew.
Yeah. Patrick says he wouldn't have gotten off the plane for less than $800.
Right.
Everyone's got a price. And Liz says always wear a helmet.
Did you wear a helmet when you rode your bike when you were a kid?
Yes, I did when I was a kid, and then it's translated into not really wearing a helmet post halfway through high school, I think.
Okay.
That's when I kind of stopped. But like longer bike rides, busier streets, but if I'm tooling around the neighborhood to go visit a friend, I'm not throwing a bike helmet on to go 12 houses down.
Right.
I'm going to go say hi to Tanner and Jim down there, whatever. I'm not going to throw a helmet on usually. But if I'm biking to the store, library, yeah. And even nowadays, I honestly don't even think I have a bike helmet anymore. I think it might be at my mom's house, but... You
went rollerblading this weekend and didn't wear a helmet?
I did. Yeah, I don't wear knee pads. I don't wear any of that stuff when I go rollerblading. And some people make fun of me for it. Be like, how can you possibly do that? I mean, I would, what happens if you fall? I'm like, you look like you have the knees like I do, where they're all beaten up because I've just absolutely gone chaotically crashy when it comes to sometimes my falls. It's not fun. Not fun. What about your Terrible Tuesday? And, of course, if you guys have Terrible Tuesday references, whether it's in your own life as a whole or the sports world, make sure to comment below. Drop a link as well, too. We'd be happy to check them out and see what you've got coming at for us as well.
My Terrible Tuesday has to do with the Cleveland Cavaliers game last night. Unfortunately, there was a fan whose head was right in the middle of the camera screen. And at first I was like, that's not that big a deal. And then I'm like, if I actually cared about that game and I was watching that game, I would be so upset. And I don't know why no one told him to move.
How do you not know?
Excuse me,
sir. Bro, can you scoot a little bit?
He knows he's in front of the video booth. He's not
Yeah.
Like, you know that they're right about
I love these tweets that are coming out, too. I mean, this, Robin Lundberg says, can the Heat broadcast crew find a shot without that dude's head in it? And then Day Ellis as well here says, great camera work at Heat the entire possession. Like, seriously, like, if there had been, like, a critical point, like, in that lower, like, left corner of the three-point range, like, you wouldn't have been able to see it because Bob from Miami there is busy blocking out, he's posting up on the viewing audience. Like, come on. Let the world see what's going on, man.
Another gentleman said, Wes Goldberg said, the Heat should United Airlines this guy. That's funny because we were just talking about that.
Hey, drag him out.
But yeah, so Cavs fans are probably having a terrible Tuesday, especially because it made it go, or the game went into overtime. And
oh, yeah. That's just, nope. Come on. Use your head. Use your head.
Use your head. Huh. Another dad pun.
He's coming all at me this morning. That's what happens when I drink a cup of coffee. Life is good. Life is certainly good. All right, moving along with the program, I want to show here. Did anybody give us a Terrible Tuesday at all? Remember to hit that comment section below with your Terrible Tuesday references, whether it's from the sports world or from your life as a whole. We love hearing from you and are happy to listen to whatever you have going on. Liz says, Busta, and then hashtag Bustahead. Oof, that seems a bit harsh, but I also agree with that. Patrick says, that's the price they were offering to get off the plane. Oh, it was $800 for that guy. Oh, that I didn't know. For that guy, they were like, get out, $800. I do a lot for $800. Be like, all right, that's fine. I can miss my, if I'm not like in a rush, be like, sure, $800.
Right,
fine.
but there's probably plenty of people on that plane who like needed to get somewhere.
Of course.
But they probably also, there was probably a good handful that didn't need to get anywhere.
Tammy, with our expert analysis here, so she immediately gets 100 points for that, says Buster Posey's real name is Gerald Dempsey Posey.
Oh.
First name is Gerald. Like, that's phenomenal.
I have an Uncle Gerald.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm. Actually, his first name is Lambert.
Lambert.
His middle name is Gerald.
Lambert Gerald. Mm-hmm. That's rather interesting. LG.
I think
the old
like
LG.
My grandpa's name was Lambert or something.
That's amazing.
I like Buster, though. So
Buster. How do you get that nickname Buster, though? Like,
hey, little
people
Buster.
would always be like, you remember like the Arthur series, like with Buster Baxter? Like, I don't know if his first name was really Buster. It's probably like something else real.
I like Buster.
You should name your children that you're not having Buster.
Okay.
This is my son Buster and my daughter Bustera. I don't know. Or Bust. Just don't name them Bust. Like, that would be a little strange. So we both did our Terrible Tuesdays. Remember to hit us in the comment section below here, of course. We love hearing from you guys. Best Terrible Tuesday wins a virtual high five from Jamie. Of course, Patrick leading the way with the points system this morning as well, too. So way to go, Patrick. Although, I mean, Tammy, though, with that poll on Buster Posey's real name, that's a big deal right there. That's a lot.
How many points did you give her?
How many points did I give you, Tammy? I've already forgotten.
I hope it was a lot.
Did I give you 100? 40? 23? I don't remember.
I don't know either.
Scratch your scorecard and I'll give you 40 points. So whatever I told you before, just go with 40 and we'll move on from there. That makes life so much easier. All right, looking also ahead here to we'll get to Yes Drama in just a minute because we'll close that out. But I wanted to briefly talk about the World Cup bid that the United States, Canada, and Mexico all submitted yesterday. Kind of a really cool thing. The United States hasn't hosted a World Cup since 1994. This is a historic moment because now 3 countries are joining together to place a bid for the 2026 World Cup. The big issue, and I think we briefly talked about this yesterday too, is because the United States couldn't host the World Cup. They think that they would have come under massive scrutiny because Donald Trump is the president. He's got all these bans on immigrants and all these other foreign people trying to come into the country and who are already here. So the United States, Canada, and Mexico said, well, if we join together with 3 nations, nobody hates Canada. Everyone loves Canada. Mexico kind of, shouldn't be a problem at that point either. And the United States, of course, is just a dominant powerhouse in the world as a whole. These 3 together, very first time this has ever been done, a trifecta bid. Really cool. South Korea did that along with, I believe, Japan back in the day. I believe there was something that Germany and Austria did a joint World Cup bid as well a couple of years ago also. So kind of cool thing to see a trifecta bid here for the World Cup. 2026 obviously is a long ways away, but the big question that I'm still wondering about, though, is will these games be played in soccer-specific stadiums, or are they going to be played in NFL stadiums, or are they going to have to build new stadiums? That I don't know.
You think that they would build a stadium just for that?
They've done it before. They've done it, and I mean, that's Brazil, of course, they had to build a lot of stadiums for the not only the Rio Olympic Games but also the World Cup when it was down there. Qatar is literally has created a city out of nothing, so that way they can host all the World Cup games when they have. I think it's the 2020 World Cup, or no, 2022 technically from the math perspective. So like people have to sometimes build. I don't ever understand why people are bidding on events if they already don't have the venues to begin with. Like, I get making like one more, being like, oh, we're going to build like a grandiose stadium. Like, that's cool.
Like,
but to literally build out of nothing, to start with nothing, that's where it kind of loses me at that point.
I think that they should just reuse a stadium that, even though it's made for football, like a football field, like how much bigger is a football field than a soccer field?
Well, a soccer field is bigger than a football field. Soccer field is 120 by 80, I believe is the dimensions. So on a football field is 120 yards long if you go out the back of the end zone. So if you utilize that space.
Wider.
Yeah, but then an NFL field I think is only 65 yards wide. So the width would have to get extended a little bit. But you see people do that all the time at high school and college fields that have like the turf, like with a numerous line. So there's a lot of different ways around it.
We have enough stadiums that are new and have all the bells and whistles for them to just reuse them.
That is a true point. Yeah, I mean, I really hope that the United States, Canada, and Mexico get this right, because I think it would be huge for the continued growth of soccer in North America. But there's still a long ways away that a lot of things could certainly go downhill from there.
Yeah.
Tammy also says that I gave her 100 points in the beginning.
And then you gave her 40
and I took it away and gave her 40. So, Tammy, because you corrected me and you were paying attention, I'm going to reinstate your 100 points to start moving forward. So I think that makes Tammy the overall leader, certainly. Howie says he thinks he prefers Buster.
See, it's a cool name.
As a name. Buster, I mean, now, Howie, my question is to you. Would you rather be called Howie or would you rather be called Buster? Buster Vaughn, I don't even know how to say his last name. Vaughnan? Or Howie?
Vaughn.
Maybe that's probably Vaughn. I think that's Vaughn. Howie Vaughn or Buster Vaughn? I think Buster sounds cooler. Like Buster Colburn, Baxter Colburn. It's basically the same thing for the most part.
I like Buster.
Yeah. Baxter with an X, not with a CK, like some people do.
Who spells Baxter like that?
You'd be surprised. I've gotten like Starbucks orders and other places like, oh yeah, Baxter. I get it back. My favorite one was BACKSTER. Baxter. I'm like, are you like...
I can't really talk. My name's spelled all
you're
messed up.
You're weird, Jamie, with
so
two E's and with a Y.
Make fun of people.
You're
for
weird
their
in
names.
that regards. But like, that was my favorite thing when I saw that the first time. I'm like, did you even remotely try? Like, you could have asked.
I had an Uber driver once ask me if my name was Yame. I'm like, no, it's phonetically spelled out to
Yame. Like, it's literally next to impossible, apparently, or not, to not figure out your name. It's like it's J and then MEE. Like, sound it out.
Yeah,
we all
at
least went to kindergarten. We at least know how to sound out words like ball, apple, J, me. Like, use your brains.
Yeah.
Use your brains. If you have a weird name, comment below. We'd love to see it and talk about it. Like Tammy, that makes that. Duh. Obviously, that's what it would be. Howie, Patrick, Liz. Pretty straightforward. Nothing too crazy. We don't have any ants today. No Ants O'Leary.
So sad.
I miss you, ants. Come back. You're my best. You're my best friend. Maybe not. All right. Yes, drama to close out the show today, where we talk about something that's a bit dramatic in the sports world. Jamie, I let off with Terrible Tuesday, so I wanted to give you the opportunity to go first for your yes drama today.
Can mine be non-sports related today?
Of course.
Okay.
You can do whatever you want it to be.
I have a huge issue with Photoshop and like people that are that just don't like, I don't know, like I don't understand like the reason behind it. Like, you want a six-pack? Like, work hard to get the six-pack. Ludacris released a new music video, and I love Ludacris. As we all know, I would pick any Ludacris song for my walk-up song because I love him. But if you take a look at his new music video for the song Vitamin D, his abs literally look like they came out of a Sims video. They're terrible. And I'm not sure what's going on. His face also kind of looks like it. It's terrible. It's gross. It's bad. Someone tweeted out that his abs look like it says, Ludacris's chest looks like the rolls I buy at 7-Eleven when I'm drunk. Very true, like this Hawaiian, like, butter rolls. I don't know. I think it's dumb. Like he could not have watched this video and been like, man.
Looking good.
Those Sims abs look great. Like, they look
nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look them up.
We're going to have to.
That's my yes drama.
Yes drama. You heard it here first. Give us your yes drama moment of the day. If you agree with what we're talking about, give us the yes drama. You yes drama Jaymee, yes drama Baxter, if you agree with what we've got going on. A couple more comments. Josh says, I think we have enough stadiums across college football, NFL, and MLS that they shouldn't need to build any more. I've seen Real Madrid play twice in Ann Arbor, and it was great in the field. Fits.
Nice.
Well, the big house also can see it, like 102,000 people or something like that, so that makes sense. Jeff says, Y-A-H-M-E for Yami. Could be another way. And then Liz says, Luda. Like, I just hear, like, Luda's voice, like, in my head being like, Luda, like, ludicrous, like, whatever his, like, lines that he starts.
Wish you actually knew the words and you just spit it. That would have been, we would have had to end it on that note. That would have been awesome.
Done.
Yeah. That would have been great.
No, I'm not hip enough.
Oh.
Pretty sure my wife could do it, though. She's pretty boss when it comes to that. Don't let her cute facade fool you. She can rap with the best of them.
Do you have a yes drama?
I do. My yes drama involves the New England Patriots because the only time I can talk about the Patriots is when I'm not on a show with Tanner because he starts to throw things and drinks excessively. So, if you haven't heard by now, Marshawn Lynch apparently is being semi-reported as interested to go to the New England Patriots.
Of course he is.
Because if things don't pan out with the Oakland Raiders, which already seems a little strange to me because if you're trying to go back and play for your hometown team, he probably, similar to everything else I've already been making the argument for, realizes that, listen, guys, like the Raiders aren't going to make a Super Bowl run this year. That's just not going to happen. They're going to have to go through New England. What's that? New England still doesn't have that dominant running back? Maybe I could go play for them. So this is the big yes drama of my day is that Marshawn Lynch has privately expressed interest. This is what I love about this. Marshawn Lynch has privately expressed interest, which is why the world knows about it, of course. So yes drama to whoever spoiled that story. Stupid people. If it's private, keep it private, guys. Don't tell the world. But I'm also just genuinely curious to know that this drama that is the New England Patriots, trying to sign Adrian Peterson, trying to bring in Richard Sherman, they're just trying to sign everybody. They're just trying to load up to have that like elite, Madden all-star team that they can just run through everybody by 50 points. So that's my yes drama for the day, is that if Marshawn Lynch actually goes to the New England Patriots, that this is going to just be an even more ridiculous team that no one's going to want to deal with because New England and Tom Brady. So that's my yes drama moment for the day. Give us your thoughts. Yes drama Jaymee, yes drama Baxter with the hashtags in the comment section below. That way we know if you agree with us. If you think it's no drama, then tell us as well too. Hashtag no drama Jaymee, hashtag no drama Baxter. And if you've got your own yes drama moment, we'd love to hear from you as well too as we get ready to close out the show here in just a little bit. We've had a lot of great comments to Jaymee. It's been great to see so many different people chiming in as well. This is just what we do. This is what we love to do. I mean, we continue to grow Brew Sports and the Morning Brew on a daily basis, and it's all thanks to amazing people like Jeff and Josh and Tammy and Liz and Patrick and Adam and Ants. Miss you, Ants. Donovan chimed in earlier as well, too, and Dave teasing us from Costa Rica. Darn you, Dave. Negative 12 points for you, Dave, because you're in Costa Rica. No, I'm sure Dave is nice. 20 points for you, Dave. So you're at positive 8 now. I'm just throwing points all over the place yesterday. But do you have a favorite comment of the day at all? I feel like there's been some good ones today that we need to hand out, like a favorite comment of the day to somebody.
My favorite is probably going to be Tammy telling me. Actually, that's my least favorite because I like Buster.
Oh.
Like, I wish that was his name.
Ooh. Jaymee went from 0 to 1,000 real quick. Like, maybe Tammy. Sorry. No, Tammy. No. Sorry. Sit down. I've got my comment, but I want to know who your comment is.
My favorite? Oh,
favorite comment of the day.
I don't know.
Mine has to go to Dave. His hashtag meatloaf has to be my favorite comment of the day and favorite hashtag as well too. Hashtag meatloaf from Dave from Costa Rica. Gotta have that meatloaf. Got that meatloaf on lock, Dave. On lock. So I think we're gonna have to go with that one. So, all right. Well, this has been a lot of fun. I'm always enjoying getting the opportunity to wake up to you wonderful people and, of course, to do the show with you in the morning as well, too, Jaymee. So thank you for that. Thank you to all of you amazing people that commented, that gave your thoughts, that hit the share button, all that. If you liked what you saw today, of course, please head over to the Facebook page and hit that button and invite friends to like this page. That way you can invite more people to come check us out here on Brew Sports. You can also find us on iTunes and YouTube and on our website, brewsportsnet.com. So a lot of great stuff. We'll be back again tomorrow with some more exciting information for you come the sports world. It's Baxter and Jaymee on the Morning Brew. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great Tuesday. Hopefully it's not a terrible one, and hopefully you don't get hit in the head with a fastball or have an octopus thrown at you. But maybe you have meatloaf, so life will be good. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day. Thanks for watching.